They said Baek Jiwon was untouchable, the most ruthless mafia boss in Seoul, feared, powerful, absolutely merciless. They were right about everything except one thing. He couldn't get it up. 3 years of psychological impotence. 3 years of hiding his weakness behind violence and reputation. 3 years of trying every doctor, every medication, every treatment. Nothing worked. Until Kiera Thompson walked into his compound. She was just a physical therapist, brought in to treat what they told her was a circulation issue. Professional, clinical, completely unaware she was touching Seoul's most dangerous man. Then it happened. When her warm hands made contact with his skin, his body responded. For the first time in 3 years, he felt something. Not fully functional, but hope. Actual hope. "You're not leaving," he told her, his voice cold and commanding. "Not until you fix me. I'm a physical therapist, not a miracle worker. You're whatever I say you are, and right now, you're mine." Kiera had come to Seoul to escape her past. Instead, she'd become a mafia boss's only chance at reclaiming his manhood. And neither of them knew that healing him would require breaking every rule she had, including the one about not falling for dangerous men. 2 weeks earlier, Seoul Kiera Thompson's life in Seoul was supposed to be simple. Work at the rehabilitation clinic, build her clientele, forget about Marcus and the mess she'd left behind in Chicago. At 27, she was starting over. New city, new country, new life. The clinic was small but reputable, specializing in sports injuries and trauma recovery. Kiera had built a reputation in Chicago for her unusual technique. Her hands ran warmer than average, and patients swore her touch accelerated healing. She'd dismissed it as placebo effect, but clients kept returning, kept referring others. "Kiera, you have a consultation," her colleague Minji said, poking her head into the break room. Dr. Han referred someone. Private session, his estate, very generous pay. How generous? $10,000 for one session. Kiera nearly choked on her coffee. 10,000 for one session? What's wrong with him? Circulation issues, apparently. Very private individual. Doesn't want to come to the clinic. Minji handed her the file. Minimal information, just an address in Gangnam and a time. Dr. Han vouched for him personally. Says he's safe, just particular. Particular rich people are either wonderful or nightmares. No in between. For $10,000, you can handle a nightmare for an hour. The address led to a compound, not a house, a literal walled compound with guards at the gate. Kiera's Uber driver looked nervous as they approached. "You sure about this address?" he asked in broken English. "This is what I was given." "Why?" "This is bad neighborhood, dangerous people." "It's Gangnam. How dangerous can it be?" The driver gave her a look that said she was incredibly naive, but he dropped her off anyway. The guards at the gate checked her ID, searched her bag, and made her surrender her phone before allowing her through. Red flags everywhere, but Kiera pushed down her unease. She needed this money. Student loans didn't pay themselves. The main house was massive, traditional Korean architecture mixed with modern luxury. A man in an expensive suit met her at the entrance. "Ms. Thompson, I'm Minho, Mr. Baek's assistant. Thank you for coming." "Mr. Baek is the client?" "Yes. He's waiting in the private medical room." "Follow me." They walked through hallways that screamed money and power. Expensive art, marble floors, the kind of wealth that made Kiera acutely aware of her modest clinic clothes. What exactly is Mr. Baek's condition? She asked. Circulation issues. Nerve damage. He's tried multiple specialists. Nothing has helped. Minho's expression was carefully neutral. He can be demanding, but if you can help him, he's very generous. They stopped at a door. Minho knocked once, then opened it. The room was set up like a high-end medical suite. Massage table, equipment, pristine and professional. And sitting in a chair, radiating danger and control, was the most intense man Kiera had ever seen. Baek Jiwon was beautiful in a brutal way. Sharp features, cold eyes, the kind of face that made you think of fallen angels and calculated violence. He wore all black, and even sitting still, he projected lethal authority. Mr. Baek, this is Kiera Thompson, the physical therapist Dr. Han recommended. Jiwon's gaze swept over her, assessing, dismissive. You're young. I'm qualified, Kiera said, refusing to be intimidated. 27, but I've been practicing for 5 years. Dr. Han doesn't refer people he doesn't trust. We'll see. He stood, and Kiera realized he was tall, easily 6 feet, all lean muscle and controlled power. What did they tell you about my condition? Circulation issues, nerve damage, chronic, resistant to treatment. Accurate enough. He moved to the massage table. I need you to work on my lower back and legs. The nerve damage affects functionality. I'll need you to remove your shirt and lie face down. For a moment, something flickered in his eyes. Vulnerability, quickly hidden. Then he complied, unbuttoning his shirt to reveal a lean, scarred torso. Kiera noted the scars professionally. Knife wounds, old burns, the body of someone who'd survived violence. How did you get these? She asked, preparing her oils. Occupational hazards. What do you do? Import das export. The lie was smooth, practiced. Kiera didn't believe him for a second, but she wasn't being paid to ask questions. She was being paid to heal. She started with his lower back, her warm hands working the tense muscles. Immediately, she felt the problem, not nerve damage, trauma. His body was locked up, holding tension so deep it had become chronic. This isn't nerve damage, she said. This is psychological holding. Your body is guarding against something. PTSD, maybe, or just do your job. He cut her off, his voice sharp. I am doing my job. And my job is telling you that physical therapy alone won't fix this. You need trauma therapy. I don't need therapy. I need my body to function properly. Your body is functioning exactly as it should, given whatever trauma you're holding. It's protecting you. I don't need protection. I need results. Kiera bit back her frustration and continued working. As her hands moved lower to his legs, she noticed his breathing change, deepen. His muscles were relaxing despite his resistance. Whatever you're doing, he said quietly, don't stop. It's just physical therapy. It's working. For the first time in 3 years, something is actually working. When the session ended, Jiwon sat up slowly, his expression carefully controlled, but his eyes showing something like hope. Same time tomorrow, he said. Double the rate. Mr. Baek, I have other clients. Cancel them. I'll compensate for lost income. You work for me now. Exclusively. I don't work exclusively for anyone. You do now. His gaze pinned her. Name your price. Whatever you're making annually, I'll triple it. You work for me, treat me daily, until I'm cured. Cured of what, exactly? You still haven't told me what's actually wrong. That's none of your concern. Your concern is showing up, doing what you did today, and accepting payment. Everything else is irrelevant. I'm not a possession you can just buy. Everyone has a price, Ms. Thompson. I'm offering you financial security to do a job you're already doing. The only difference is you do it exclusively for me. He stood, buttoning his shirt. Think about it. But understand, I don't accept no as an answer. Not when I finally have something that works. After she left, Minho drove her back to her apartment, pressing an envelope into her hands. What's this? Payment for today, and an advance for the week. Mr. Baek expects your answer by tomorrow. Inside the envelope was $50,000 in cash. Kiera sat in her tiny apartment, staring at more money than she'd seen in years, and tried to figure out what the hell she'd just walked into. That night, Kiera called her best friend, Layla. You're telling me some mysterious rich guy wants to pay you a fortune to give him daily massages, and you're considering saying no? Girl, what's wrong with you? Something's off about him, Lay. The compound, the guards, the scars. He's not just some businessman with back pain. So, you're a physical therapist, not a cop. Take the money, do the work, and mind your business. What if he's dangerous? Then be professional and don't get involved beyond the therapy. Kiera, you left Chicago to escape Marcus and debt. This is your chance to actually get ahead. Don't sabotage yourself because you're scared. After hanging up, Kiera looked at the money again. Layla was right. She needed this. And if Baek Jiwon was dangerous, well, she'd just keep things professional and clinical. What could possibly go wrong? Everything, as it turned out. Because Kiera didn't know that Baek Jiwon's circulation issues were actually psychological impotence from trauma he'd never told anyone about. She didn't know her touch was the first thing in 3 years to make his body respond. She didn't know he'd become obsessed with her after one session, and she definitely didn't know that the moment she agreed to work for him, she'd become the most valuable and most targeted person in Seoul's underworld. Because a mafia boss who could finally function again, that changed the balance of power, and people would kill to stop it. Would you work exclusively for a dangerous man who refused to explain why he needed you? Could you stay professional with someone whose touch clearly affected him? What would you do in Kiera's situation? Let me know in the comments. If you're already hooked and can't wait to see how this dangerous healing journey unfolds, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me what you think will happen next. Trust me, this story is about to get intense with twists involving trauma, power, and forbidden connection. Now let's continue. Kiera agreed to the arrangement. How could she not? The money was life-changing, and despite her unease, the work itself was straightforward. Physical therapy, professional boundaries, nothing she couldn't handle. Or so she thought. The first week established a routine. Every evening at 7 p.m., Minho picked her up and drove her to the compound. She'd work on Jiwon for 90 minutes, his back, legs, shoulders, while he remained mostly silent, occasionally asking questions about her technique. Why are your hands so warm? He asked on the third session. Natural body temperature. I run about 2 degrees warmer than average. Genetic quirk. It's not just warmth. There's something else. A frequency, almost. Like a vibration. That's the fascia releasing. When muscles relax, you feel the shift. No, it's specifically from your touch. I've had dozens of therapists. None of them felt like this. Kiera kept her response professional, but internally, she was curious too. Jiwon's body responded to her touch in ways that seemed beyond normal therapeutic effect. His muscles released faster, his breathing regulated immediately, and he'd mentioned that functionality was returning, though he never specified what that meant. On day 5, she learned exactly what it meant. She was working on his lower back when Jiwon suddenly sat up. His expression stunned. Stop. Just stop for a moment. Did I hurt you? No, the opposite. He stood abruptly, turning away from her, his body language tense. I need a minute. Mr. Baek, if something's wrong, nothing's wrong. Something's finally right. His voice was rough, strained. For 3 years, nothing. Doctors, medications, specialists, nothing worked. Then you touch me, and... He stopped, running a hand through his hair. I need you to understand what you're doing for me. What this means. I'm just providing physical therapy. You're giving me back my manhood. He turned to face her, and for the first time, she saw real vulnerability in his eyes. 3 years ago, something happened. Trauma. It left me, unable to perform, psychologically impotent. Do you understand what that means for someone in my position? Your position? I run an organization that values strength, power, dominance. A man who can't function sexually is seen as weak, broken. I've hidden it, maintained my reputation through fear and violence. But internally, I was destroyed. Until you. Kiera's stomach dropped. Mr. Baek, I'm not a sex therapist. If you're experiencing erectile dysfunction from trauma, you need psychological counseling, not physical therapy. I've tried everything. Therapy didn't work. Medication didn't work. My body was locked, refusing to respond to anyone or anything. But your touch, something about your touch specifically, it's breaking through that block. I can feel it. I'm not fully healed, but I'm responding. That's more progress than 3 years of specialists gave me. I'm not qualified to treat psychological impotence. You're already treating it. Whether you're qualified or not, you're the only thing that's worked. He stepped closer, his intensity overwhelming. I need you to continue. Daily sessions. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. This is beyond my scope of practice. I don't care about scope. I care about results. And you're giving me results. His voice turned cold, calculating. I'm paying you a fortune to continue exactly what you're doing. Don't complicate this with ethics or protocols. Just heal me. Kiera wanted to refuse, wanted to walk away from this situation that was clearly spiraling beyond professional boundaries. But the money, the desperation in his eyes, and her own healer's instinct kept her rooted. I'll continue the physical therapy, she said carefully. But Mr. Baek, if your issue is psychological, my touch is just addressing symptoms, not root cause. You need actual trauma therapy. Let me worry about root causes. You worry about showing up and putting your hands on me. He sat back down on the table. Continue the session. Please. The please surprised her. Baek Jiwon didn't seem like a man who said please often. She continued working, but the dynamic had shifted. This wasn't just physical therapy anymore. This was healing something deeper, more intimate, more dangerous. After that session, Minho drove her home in silence. Before she got out, he spoke quietly. Ms. Thompson, you should know what you're dealing with. Mr. Baek runs the Baek Syndicate. He controls most of Seoul's underground, gambling, protection, information trade. He's not a good man. Then why are you telling me this? Because you're helping him, really helping him. And that makes you valuable, but it also makes you a target. Minho's expression was serious. Rival organizations would kill for information about Mr. Baek's weakness. If they knew you were healing him, if they knew what he's been hiding, you'd be leverage, a weapon. So what am I supposed to do? Quit? No, he wouldn't let you quit now. I'm telling you to be careful. Aware. Don't trust anyone. Don't tell anyone what you're treating him for. And understand, the moment you became important to Mr. Baek, you became dangerous to everyone else. Over the next 2 weeks, Kiera learned the truth about Baek Jiwon. He was ruthless. She witnessed a subordinate punished for failure, the violence cold and efficient. He was feared. Grown men flinched when he entered rooms. He was isolated. Despite running a massive organization, he seemed utterly alone. But during their sessions, she saw glimpses of something else. Vulnerability he showed no one else. Questions about her life, her past, her reasons for coming to Seoul. Why Korea? He asked during their 15th session. Americans usually choose easier places. I needed distance. From my ex, from bad decisions, from a life that wasn't working. What did your ex do? Cheated. Stole money from my account. Made me feel small. She worked a particularly tense knot in his shoulder. I stayed too long, trying to fix something that was never going to work. Finally, I chose myself and left. That takes courage. Or stupidity. I'm still not sure which. Courage, he said firmly. Most people stay in situations that destroy them because leaving is harder. You chose hard. That's strength. The compliment surprised her. Baek Jiwon wasn't given to kindness or praise. What about you? She asked. The trauma that caused your condition, what happened? His body tensed immediately. That's not relevant. It's completely relevant. You're asking me to heal something I don't understand. You don't need to understand. You just need to keep doing what you're doing. That's not how healing works. Trauma held in the body doesn't disappear just because muscles relax. It requires processing, acknowledgement. I don't process. I move forward. His voice was ice. The past is irrelevant. Only results matter. The past is literally living in your nervous system. Drop it. Not a request. A command. Kiera dropped it, but she filed the information away. Whatever had happened to Jiwon, it was still controlling him. And until he faced it, her touch would only provide temporary relief, not permanent healing. Week 4 brought the first real complication, Hana. Kiera was leaving the compound after a session when a woman intercepted her. Stunning, dangerous, radiating the same lethal authority as Jiwon. You're the new therapist, the woman said in perfect English. The one helping Jiwon with his problem. I don't discuss my clients. I'm Hana. I run the Red Lotus Syndicate. Jiwon and I have history. Complicated history. Her smile was sharp. Tell me, is he functioning again? Can he finally perform? That's confidential. Because 3 years ago, I broke him. Personally. And I've enjoyed watching him struggle, knowing I destroyed Seoul's most powerful man in the most intimate way possible. Hana stepped closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. If you're fixing him, you're undoing my work, and I can't allow that. I don't know what happened between you two, but I'm just a physical therapist. You're the key to his recovery, which makes you a problem." Hana's eyes glittered with malice. "Stop treating him. Walk away, or I'll make you wish you had." "Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you. There's a difference. For now." Hana turned to leave, then paused. "Oh, and Ms. Thompson, that ex-boyfriend of yours. Marcus, right? He's in Seoul. Funny coincidence, don't you think?" The mention of Marcus sent ice through Kiera's veins. "What? Did I stutter?" "Marcus is in Seoul, looking for you. Wouldn't it be terrible if he found you? If something happened to him because you're involved with dangerous people?" Hana's smile was poisonous. "Think about it. Your healing work might cost more than you realize." After Hana left, Kiera stood trembling with fear and rage. Marcus was here, in Seoul. That couldn't be coincidence. She pulled out her phone and called Layla. "Marcus is in Seoul," she said without preamble. "What? How do you know?" "Someone just told me. Someone dangerous." "Layla, what if he's been following me? What if nothing?" "Marcus is a loser with no money. He can't afford to follow you to Korea. This is probably just head games. Ignore it." But Kiera couldn't ignore it. Because if Marcus really was in Seoul, it meant her past had caught up with her. And if dangerous people like Hana knew about him, he was leverage. She was officially trapped in something far beyond physical therapy. That night, Kiera confronted Jiwon. "Who is Hana, and what did she do to you?" His expression went utterly cold. "How do you know that name?" "She approached me, threatened me, said she broke you 3 years ago and doesn't want me fixing you." "What the hell happened, Jiwon?" "That's none of your concern." "It absolutely is my concern when rival crime bosses are threatening me. You brought me into this world without telling me the risks. I'm handling Hana. She knows about Marcus, my ex. She knows he's in Seoul. How does she know that unless someone's been watching me?" Jiwon's jaw clenched. "I've had you under surveillance since the first session for your protection." "What?" "You became valuable to me. That made you a target. I put security on you immediately. You've been stalking me. I've been protecting you. There's a difference." He stood, his intensity filling the room. "Hana is dangerous. If she's threatened you, it means she knows you're important to me. That puts you at risk. Then let me quit. Let me walk away before this gets worse." "No." The word was absolute. "You're the only thing that's worked. I'm not letting you go. Not when I'm this close to being whole again. I'm not your property. You're under my protection, which means you stay, work for me, and let me handle the threats. I didn't sign up for Mafia wars. You signed up the moment you took my money and put your hands on me." His gaze burned into hers. "You're mine now, Kiera. My responsibility, my concern, my—" He stopped, something shifting in his expression. "You're under my protection. That's final. And if I refuse, then Hana wins. She breaks me permanently, destroys any chance I have at recovery, and probably kills you for good measure. Is that what you want?" "I want to go back to Chicago, where my life was simple." "Your life was never simple. You were broke, in debt, trapped with an abusive ex. I'm offering you safety, money, purpose. All you have to do is trust me. Trust a mafia boss who's been lying to me since day one?" "I never lied. I just didn't tell you everything." He moved closer, and for the first time, she saw real desperation in his eyes. "Please, don't quit. I need you, not just for healing, for. He stopped, unable to articulate what he meant. Kiera looked at him, this brutal, broken man who was slowly healing under her touch, and felt herself soften despite every rational instinct screaming to run. I'll stay, she said quietly, but no more secrets, no more surveillance without telling me. And you deal with Hana. I'm not dying because I gave you a massage. Deal. And Kiera? His hand moved to her face, his touch gentle despite his reputation for violence. Thank you. For staying. For healing me. For being brave enough not to run. I'm probably going to regret this. Probably. But I promise I'll protect you. With my life, if necessary. She believed him. That was the terrifying part. She actually believed him. The truth about what Hana had done to Jiwon came out 2 days later in the worst possible way. Kiera was working on Jiwon's shoulders when his phone rang. Minho answered, his face going pale. Sir, we have a situation. Someone leaked a video. It's spreading through the underground networks. Jiwon's entire body went rigid under Kiera's hands. What video? The one from 3 years ago. Hana's video. The temperature in the room dropped 20 degrees. Jiwon stood abruptly, his control fracturing. Find the source. Shut it down. Now. Sir, it's already on multiple servers. We can slow the spread, but I said shut it down. Jiwon's roar was primal, terrifying. Then he turned to Kiera, and she saw something she'd never seen before. Shame. Leave. Now. Don't come back tonight. Jiwon. What's happening? Leave. He was barely holding himself together. Please, just go. Minho escorted her out quickly, but not before Kiera heard Jiwon's office door slam and something shatter against the wall. In the car, she turned to Minho. What video? What did Hana do to him? Minho was quiet for a long moment. Finally, 3 years ago, Hana drugged Mr. Baek at a negotiation meeting. She assaulted him while he was incapacitated and recorded it. Used the video as blackmail to control territory negotiations. Kiera felt sick. She raped him. Yes, but he's never called it that. In our world, admitting that kind of vulnerability is death. So he buried it, hid the trauma, and dealt with the consequences alone. The impotence, the psychological damage, all from that night. And now the video is out? Hana's releasing it. Probably in retaliation for him healing, for you fixing what she broke. She's reminding everyone of his weakness, destroying his reputation. That's not weakness, that's surviving assault. In the criminal underworld, there's no distinction. Weakness is weakness, and Mr. Baek's enemies will use this to destroy him. Jiwon didn't call for 3 days. No sessions, no contact, nothing. Kiera tried to respect his space, but on day 4, she couldn't take it anymore. She showed up at the compound unannounced, pushing past guards who tried to stop her. She found him in his private gym, beating a punching bag with savage intensity, his knuckles bloody, his face a mask of rage and pain. Jiwon. He didn't stop. I told you not to come back. And I'm not good at following orders from self-destructive men. She approached carefully. I know what happened. Minho told me about Hana, the assault, the video. Then you know why you need to leave. Associating with me now is career suicide, reputation suicide. Every syndicate in Seoul knows I was. He couldn't say the word. Assaulted. You were assaulted. That's not shame. That's trauma that was done to you. In my world, there's no difference. His voice cracked. I'm supposed to be strong, untouchable, dominant. Instead, I was drugged and violated and recorded for everyone to see. Do you know what that makes me to them? Weak, broken, worthless. It makes you a survivor. It makes me a liability. He finally stopped hitting the bag, his breathing ragged. The other syndicates are circling, smelling blood. They're waiting to see if I can maintain control or if I'll crumble. And without you, without your touch keeping me functional, I'm back to being broken. Then let me help you. Why? Why would you risk yourself for someone like me? Because healing people is what I do, and because... She stopped, surprised by her own truth. Because I care about you, not as a client, as a person. You're not just a mafia boss to me. You're Jiwon, and Jiwon deserves healing. He stared at her, something breaking in his expression. Then he moved to her, pulling her into a desperate embrace. I don't deserve you, he whispered against her hair. Don't deserve your kindness or your healing or your care. But God, I need it. I need you. Then let me in. Really, let me in. Stop hiding the pain and let me help you process it. I don't know how. We'll figure it out together. That night, Jiwon told her everything. They sat in his private study, and for the first time, he gave her the full story. The meeting with Hana to negotiate territory. The drink he'd accepted, not knowing it was drugged. Waking up hours later, violated, with Hana showing him the video she'd recorded. The blackmail, give up key territories, or the video goes public. His choice to give up territory, rather than let his people see him that way. The psychological aftermath, panic attacks, inability to trust, his body shutting down completely. I tried everything, he said hoarsely. Therapy, medication, trying to push through it. Nothing worked. My body just locked, refused to respond, like it was protecting me from ever being vulnerable again. That's a normal trauma response, Kiera said gently. Your nervous system associated arousal with danger. It shut down to keep you safe. But it made me useless. In my world, virility equals power. A man who can't perform is seen as weak. I hid it, overcompensated with violence, but internally, I was destroyed. And when I touched you, for the first time, my body felt safe enough to respond. Not fully, not completely, but enough to give me hope. His eyes met hers. You gave me hope when I had none. That's why I can't let you go. Not just because you're healing me physically, because you're healing something deeper. Jiwon, I can help with the physical symptoms, but the psychological trauma, you need professional help. A trauma therapist who specializes in sexual assault. I can't. If word got out that I was in therapy for this, it would confirm weakness. My enemies would exploit it. So you'll just suffer forever? I'll heal with you. Your touch, your presence, it's working. Slowly, but it's working. That's not sustainable. I'm one person. I can't carry your entire healing. I'm not asking you to carry it. I'm asking you to be present while I learn to carry it myself. His hand found hers. Please, don't give up on me. She should have said no, should have maintained professional boundaries, should have recognized this was beyond her scope. Instead, she squeezed his hand. I won't give up on you, but Jiwon, you have to meet me halfway. You have to actually process this trauma, not just bury it. I don't know how. Then we'll learn together, starting now. Tell me about that night, not the facts, the feelings, what you felt when you realized what she'd done. For the next 2 hours, Jiwon talked. really talked about the violation, the shame, the rage, the helplessness, about feeling like his body had betrayed him, about the panic attacks he hid from everyone, about the loneliness of suffering something he couldn't admit. And Kiera listened, holding his hand, offering the safety he needed to finally speak his truth. By the end, he was crying, silent tears he probably hadn't shed in years. "I'm sorry," he said, wiping his face. "This is pathetic. This is human. This is healing. This is the bravest thing you've done." She moved closer. "Jiwon, you survived something horrific. Your response, the impotence, the trauma, that's your body trying to protect you. It's not weakness, it's survival." "It doesn't feel like survival. It feels like prison." "Then let's break you out of prison, together." He looked at her with something like reverence. "Why are you doing this? Really? You could walk away, be safe, avoid all this danger." "Because I see you. The real you. Not the mafia boss, not the ruthless criminal, just Jiwon, who's been suffering alone for too long. And I can't walk away from that. You're either the bravest or most foolish woman I've ever met. Probably both." She smiled slightly. "Now, let me actually treat you. Properly. Not just physical therapy, but addressing the trauma stored in your body." "How?" "Somatic therapy techniques. We'll work through the body memory, release the trauma physically while you process it emotionally. It won't be easy. It might be excruciating, but it's the only way to truly heal." "Okay, I trust you." Those 3 words, "I trust you," from a man who trusted no one, meant everything. But their moment of connection was shattered by an explosion. Literally, an explosion that rocked the compound, sending them both to the floor. "Stay down." Jiwon covered her body with his as gunfire erupted outside. Minho burst through the door. "Sir, we're under attack. Red Lotus Syndicate. Hana's making her move." "Get Kiera to the safe room. I'm getting both of you to the safe room. Now." Minho pulled them up, pushing them toward a hidden door. They ran through underground tunnels as chaos erupted above. Gunfire, shouting, the sounds of a full-scale assault. "She's trying to kill me," Kiera gasped. "Hana wants me dead before I can heal you completely." "She's not getting anywhere near you." Jiwon's voice was lethal. "I'll end her before I let that happen." They reached the safe room, reinforced steel, stocked for siege scenarios. Minho sealed them inside. "We can hold here for hours if needed. My men will handle the assault." "Casualties?" Jiwon demanded. 3 wounded, none dead yet. "But sir," Minho's expression was grim. "They have Marcus." Kira's blood froze. "What?" "Hana's people grabbed your ex-boyfriend. They're using him as leverage. Surrender yourself, or they execute him." "No," Jiwon said immediately. "It's a trap. He's an innocent person." Kira's voice rose. "Marcus may be a terrible ex, but he doesn't deserve to die because of me. He's bait. The moment you leave this room, they'll kill you both. So we just let him die? If it means keeping you alive." "Yes." Jiwon's face was stone. "Your life is worth more than his. He made his choices. He followed you to Seoul, probably for money or drugs. He's not your responsibility. He's a human being. He's collateral damage, and I'm not sacrificing you for him." Kiera stared at Jiwon, seeing the ruthless mafia boss clearly for the first time. This was his world. Cold calculations, acceptable losses, survival over sentiment. And she was trapped in it. with a man she was starting to care for, who would kill dozens to keep her safe, who saw human life as nothing more than chess pieces. This was who she was healing. This was who she was falling for. And she had no idea if that made her compassionate or completely insane. The standoff lasted 6 hours. Hana's forces surrounded the compound, Marcus held at gunpoint, demanding Kiera in exchange for his life. Jiwon's men held defensive positions, refusing to surrender their boss or his healer. Kiera paced the safe room like a caged animal. We can't just let him die. We're not letting him do anything. He made his choice when he came to Seoul. Jiwon was on the phone, coordinating strategy with his lieutenants. Hana wants you because you're fixing me. Giving you to her defeats the entire purpose. The purpose of keeping me alive? The purpose of healing me so I can destroy her permanently. His eyes were cold. This is war, Kiera. And in war, sometimes people die. People you don't care about, you mean. People who don't matter to me, yes. Marcus is an addict who followed you for money. He's not worth your life. How do you even know he's an addict? Because I had him investigated the moment Hana mentioned his name. Marcus Thompson, 29, unemployed, history of cocaine and prescription pill abuse, in debt to multiple dealers in Chicago. He came to Seoul 2 months ago, right when you started treating me. That's not coincidence. He's working for Hana, feeding her information. The betrayal hit Kiera like a physical blow. He's been spying on me? For money and drugs. Hana probably approached him in Chicago, offered to fund his habits if he followed you and reported back. He's been her inside man this entire time. Then he deserves a chance to make it right, to get clean, to keep betraying you? Kiera, wake up. Marcus doesn't love you. He sees you as a resource. First your bank account, now your connection to me. He's not worth saving. Everyone is worth saving. Her voice cracked. That's the difference between you and me. You see people as disposable. I see them as human beings who deserve second chances. And that compassion will get you killed. Jiwon moved to her, gripping her shoulders. I know you want to save everyone, but you can't. Sometimes you have to choose who matters and protect them ruthlessly. Marcus made his choice. Let him live with the consequences, or die with them. If necessary, yes. She stared at him, seeing the vast chasm between their worlds. He was right. She did want to save everyone, but he lived in a reality where that compassion was weakness, where mercy got you killed. I can't be like you, she whispered. I can't just write people off as acceptable losses. I'm not asking you to be like me. I'm asking you to trust me to handle this my way, without sacrificing you in the process. Before she could respond, Minho burst in. Sir, we have a problem. Marcus isn't just bait. He's wired with explosives. If we try to rescue him, Hana detonates. If we wait, she detonates in 2 hours regardless. It's a no-win scenario. There's always a win. Jiwon's mind was already working. She wants Kiera, so we give her Kiera. Sort of. Absolutely not, Kiera started. A decoy. One of my female operatives. Similar build, wearing your clothes. We send her out, delay the exchange long enough to locate and disarm the explosives on Marcus. Then we extract him and eliminate Hana's forces simultaneously. That's insane, Minho said. The decoy will be killed the moment Hana realizes. So we make sure Hana doesn't realize until it's too late. Darkness, distance, confusion. We only need 60 seconds. Jiwon turned to Kiera. Do you have anything distinctive Hana would recognize? Jewelry? A jacket? Something I can put on the decoy? Kiera pulled off her bracelet, a distinctive silver piece her grandmother had given her. She saw me wearing this the day she threatened me. Perfect. Minho, get Sarah. She's closest to Kiera's height and build. Wire her with comms and get her in Kiera's clothes. Sniper teams position for simultaneous takedown the moment we confirm Marcus's bomb is disarmed. Extraction team ready to grab Marcus and pull back. We do this fast and precise. Sir, even if this works, Hana will retaliate. This is open war now. It's been open war since she assaulted me 3 years ago. I've just been too broken to fight back properly. His expression turned lethal. But I'm not broken anymore. And it's time Hana learned what happens when you violate a Baek. The plan went into motion at midnight. Kiera watched from security feeds as Sarah, dressed in her clothes, wearing her bracelet, walked toward the compound gates where Hana waited with Marcus. Even from the grainy footage, Kiera could see Marcus was terrified. Explosives strapped to his chest. Hana's gun pressed to his head. Please work, Kiera whispered. Please let him survive this. Jiwon stood beside her, his hand finding hers. My team is good. They'll get him out. And if they don't, then at least you'll be alive. And I can live with that outcome. But I can't. If Marcus dies because of me, he's dying because of his choices, not yours. Remember that. On screen, the exchange began. Sarah approached slowly, head down, playing terrified. Hana said something, and Sarah responded, voice modulator making her sound like Kiera. Bomb squad is in position, Minho reported. They need 45 seconds to disarm. Snipers? Locked on Hana and her lieutenants, waiting for your signal. Sarah was now 10 feet from Hana. The crime boss was studying her carefully. Suspicious, but not certain. 30 seconds, Minho updated. Hana reached for Sarah, and Kiera's heart stopped. If Hana touched her, felt the difference in body type, the entire plan would collapse. 20 seconds. Hana grabbed Sarah's arm, then froze. She'd felt something wrong. Her eyes widened. Now, Jiwon commanded. Everything happened simultaneously. Bomb squad moved on Marcus. Snipers fired. Sarah dropped and rolled. Extraction team surged forward. Chaos erupted. Gunfire, explosions, shouting. Kiera gripped Jiwon's hand so hard her knuckles went white. Marcus is clear. Bomb disarmed. Minho's voice was triumphant. Extracting now. On screen, Kiera watched her ex-boyfriend being dragged to safety by Jiwon's men while a firefight raged around him. But Hana had escaped in the confusion, disappearing into the night with her remaining forces. Status? Jiwon demanded. Hana's gone. We took down 8 of her people, captured 3 for interrogation. Marcus is secure, but in shock. Sarah has minor injuries, but nothing serious. We won, sir. We survived, Jiwon corrected. Winning means Hana dead. She's still breathing, which means this isn't over. They brought Marcus to the safe room an hour later. He looked terrible, strung out, terrified, explosives residue still on his clothes. When he saw Kiera, he actually cried. I'm sorry. God, Kiera, I'm so sorry. She approached me in Chicago, offered me money, said all I had to do was follow you and report what you were doing. I needed the cash. I was desperate. You sold me out for drug money, Kiera said flatly. I didn't know she'd try to kill you. I thought it was just information gathering corporate espionage or something. Then she started asking about your schedule, your routine, and I realized he broke down. I'm so sorry. I'm such a fuck up. I always ruin everything. Kiera looked at him, this man she'd loved, who'd betrayed her repeatedly, who'd nearly gotten her killed, and felt nothing but exhausted pity. You need help, Marcus. Real help. Rehab, therapy, something. I know. I want to get clean. I swear, if you give me another chance. I'm not giving you anything, Jiwon interrupted. You're alive because Kiera has a soft heart. But you're leaving Seoul tonight. My men will escort you to the airport, put you on a plane to Chicago, and you'll never contact Kiera again. Understood? You can't just. I absolutely can. You have two choices. Accept my offer, or I hand you over to Hana and let her finish what she started. Your call. Marcus looked at Kiera desperately. Are you really with this guy? He's a monster. He's the monster who saved your life, Kiera said quietly. Take the deal, Marcus. Go home. Get clean. Move on. We're done. Kiera, we're done. She turned away. Minho, get him out of here, please. After Marcus was escorted out, Kiera finally let herself break. Tears came in waves, for the relationship that had failed, for the man who'd betrayed her, for the violence she'd witnessed, for the impossible situation she was trapped in. Jiwon pulled her into his arms, holding her while she sobbed. I know you wanted to save him, he murmured, but some people don't want to be saved. They just want to take. I know, I hate that I was so wrong about him, that I wasted years on someone who saw me as a resource. That's not your failure. That's his. You loved with your whole heart. That's never wrong, even when the other person doesn't deserve it. She pulled back to look at him. How are you comforting me right now? You're supposed to be the ruthless mafia boss without feelings. I have feelings. I just don't show them to people who'd use them as weapons. But you, he cupped her face gently. You've seen me at my lowest. You know my weaknesses, my trauma, my shame. And you didn't run, didn't judge, just offered healing. That's rare. That's precious. That's worth protecting. Even at the cost of war with Hana, especially at that cost. Because Hana took something from me 3 years ago. My dignity, my manhood, my sense of safety. You're giving it back. That's worth any war. What if I can't fully heal you? What if there's a limit to what my touch can do? Then we'll face that together. But Kiera, even if you couldn't heal me at all, I'd still want you here, still want you safe, still want... He stopped, something vulnerable in his expression. I'd still want you. Want me for what? Everything. Healing, yes. But also conversation, presence, the way you challenge me to be better. You make me want to be more than just a crime boss. Make me want to be a man worthy of your touch. His thumb traced her jaw. Is that insane? Falling for your therapist? Completely insane, she whispered. But I'm falling too. Despite the violence, the danger, the impossibility of it all, I'm falling for you. That's either the smartest or stupidest thing you've ever admitted. Definitely stupidest. She smiled slightly. But I can't seem to stop. He kissed her then, gentle, reverent, nothing like the ruthless violence he showed the world. With her, he was soft, vulnerable, real. When they broke apart, Jiwon rested his forehead against hers. I need to tell you something about my healing, about what your touch has actually done. What? I'm functional again, fully. As of 3 days ago, everything works. The impotence is gone. Kiera pulled back, stunned. What? Why didn't you tell me? Because if I told you, you'd have no reason to stay. The contract was to heal me. You've healed me. You could leave, be safe, away from this world. So you lied? I omitted. There's a difference. His eyes held hers. I'm healed physically, but emotionally, psychologically. I still need you. Still need your presence, your touch, your... He struggled for words. I need you, Kiera. Not as therapist, as you. And I was terrified that if you knew the original problem was solved, you'd walk away. That's manipulative. I know, and I'm sorry. But I'm also not sorry, because it kept you here long enough for this. He gestured between them. To develop. For me to fall for you. For you to see me as more than a client. Jiwon, I can't just fall in love with you. Too late, already happened. His confession was raw, honest. I love you, Kiera. I know it's fast and complicated and probably doomed, but it's real. You're the first real thing I've felt in years. Maybe ever. She stared at him, her heart hammering. This was insane. He was a mafia boss. She was his therapist. They'd known each other 6 weeks. He'd manipulated her by hiding his healing. I love you too, she heard herself say. God help me. I love you too. His kiss was desperate, claiming, full of relief and passion. And for the first time, Kiera let herself believe. Maybe this could work. Maybe love was enough. But neither of them knew that Hana was already planning her final revenge, one that would force Kiera to choose between saving Jiwon and saving herself. And the cost of that choice would be higher than either could imagine. For 2 weeks, Kiera and Jiwon existed in a strange bubble, half healing sessions, half falling deeper in love, all while preparing for Hana's inevitable retaliation. Jiwon was different now, still ruthless in business, still commanding with his men, but with Kiera, he was soft, vulnerable, real. They'd shifted from therapist-client to something neither could fully name, but both desperately needed. Tell me something no one else knows, Kiera said one night as they lay in his bedroom, her head on his chest, listening to his heartbeat. I wanted to be a doctor, he admitted, before my father died and I inherited the syndicate. I wanted to heal people, not hurt them. You still could. No, I'm too deep in this world. There's no walking away from who I've become. His hand stroked her hair. But with you, I get to heal in a different way. You fixed what was broken, gave me back something I thought was gone forever. Your ability to have sex, my ability to be vulnerable, to trust, to feel safe with another person. He tilted her face up to look at him. You healed more than my body, Kiera. You healed my soul. That's very poetic for a crime boss. You bring out the poet in me, among other things. His smile turned heated. Want me to show you exactly how well everything works now? They made love, slowly, tenderly. Jiwon worshipping every inch of her body with reverence that made her feel precious. This wasn't just physical. It was connection, trust, 2 damaged people finding wholeness in each other. Afterward, as they lay tangled together, Kiera's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Enjoying your time with Jiwon? I hope so, because it's about to end. Check your email. H. Kiera's blood ran cold. She grabbed her laptop, opening her email with shaking hands. The message from Hana contained a single video file. Don't open it, Jiwon said immediately, seeing her face. Whatever she sent, it's meant to hurt you. But Kiera had already clicked. The video was surveillance footage, high quality, multiple angles, clearly professionally recorded, and it showed Jiwon with a woman, in bed, having sex, enthusiastically, fully functional. Time-stamped 2 days ago. Kiera felt her world tilt. What is this? Jiwon grabbed the laptop, his face going white as he watched. That's not, I didn't, that's you, in your bed. 2 days ago while I was at my apartment. Her voice was shaking. Who is she? I don't know. Kiera, I swear, I didn't sleep with anyone. The video is right here. Time-stamped, multiple angles, showing you clearly. It's fake. It has to be fake. Deep fake technology, CGI, something. He was frantically studying the video. I was alone 2 nights ago. Worked late in my office, then slept alone. I haven't been with anyone but you since you decided I was convenient. The betrayal hit her in waves. You said you were healed. Said you loved me. Was any of it real, or was I just the cure you needed before moving on to women you actually want? That's not what this is. Then explain it. Explain why there's video of you with someone else. Tears streamed down her face. God, I'm so stupid. Falling for you, believing you meant it when you said you loved me. I do love you. You love what I can do for you. The healing, the functionality, the fix. She was pulling on clothes, needing to escape. I was so busy feeling special, feeling needed. I didn't see I was just a means to an end. Now that you're healed, you don't need me anymore. Kiera, please, let me investigate this. Investigate what? The evidence is right there. Multiple angles, clear footage, your face, your room, your bed. Her voice broke completely. I can't believe I let myself fall for you. Can't believe I thought a mafia boss could actually love me. I do love you. His desperation was palpable. This is Hana manipulating you, creating fake evidence to drive us apart because she knows you're my weakness. She's trying to destroy us. She doesn't need to destroy us. You already did that. Kiera grabbed her bag. I'm done. With the therapy, with you, with all of this. If you walk out that door, Hana wins. She's counting on you running. Then she wins. I don't care anymore. I just need to get away from you before I completely lose myself. She headed for the door. Kiera, wait. He tried to grab her arm, but she yanked away. Don't touch me. Don't call me. Don't follow me. We're done. She left, ignoring his calls after her, ignoring the guards' confused looks, ignoring everything except the need to escape before she completely shattered. She made it 3 blocks before the kidnapping. A van pulled up. Men in masks grabbed her. She fought, screaming, but a cloth pressed over her face. Chloroform, and everything went dark. She woke in a basement, concrete walls, single bare bulb, the classic kidnapping setup. And sitting across from her, looking triumphant, was Hana. Good morning, darling. Sleep well? Kiera's head pounded. Where am I? My territory, far from Jiwon's reach. We have plenty of time to chat before he even figures out where to look. Hana smiled. Did you enjoy the video? I'm quite proud of the production quality. Deep fake technology has come so far. It was fake? Hope and rage warred in Kiera's chest. Of course it was fake. Jiwon hasn't touched another woman since he met you. He's disgustingly devoted. But I knew you'd believe it. Knew your insecurities would make you run. Hana leaned forward. You played right into my hands, left his protection, made yourself vulnerable, All because you couldn't believe a man like him could actually love someone like you. You bitch. Careful. I'm the one holding all the cards here. Hana's smile turned cruel. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to call Jiwon. Tell him you're safe and you've left Seoul. He'll be devastated, but he'll let you go because he respects your choice. Then you'll disappear, permanently, and Jiwon will spiral back into dysfunction without his precious healer. I win. You die. He breaks. Perfect symmetry. He'll find me. Not in time. I'm very good at making people disappear. Hana pulled out a knife, studying it casually. But before you die, I want you to understand something. Jiwon was mine to break. I assaulted him, recorded it, destroyed his ability to function. That was my power over him. Then you came along and fixed him, undid years of my work, made him whole again. That's unacceptable. You're insane. I'm effective. There's a difference. Hana stood, moving closer with the knife. Your healing touch, that unique warmth, that frequency your hands emit, it's biological, not magical. I've had scientists study it. Your body temperature, your nervous system, the specific vibration of your cells. It creates a perfect environment for trauma healing. You're literally a human healing device. That's not possible. It absolutely is. Rare genetic condition, maybe 1 in 10 million people. You're unique, valuable. And now, mine to destroy, so Jiwon stays broken forever. She pressed the knife to Kiera's throat. Any last words? Before Kiera could respond, the lights went out. Gunfire erupted, shouting, chaos in the darkness. Then light, flashlights, tactical teams, and Jiwon's face, terrified and furious as he found her. Kiera, he cut her restraints, pulling her into his arms. Thank God you're alive. How did you find me? Tracking device in your bracelet. I put it there weeks ago for exactly this scenario. He was checking her for injuries, his hands shaking. Are you hurt? Did she? I'm okay. Jiwon, the video was fake. She admitted it. She manipulated me. I know. Minho confirmed it was deep fake within an hour. I tried to call you, but your phone was off. Then the tracking signal moved to Hana's territory, and I knew. His voice broke. I thought I'd lost you. Around them, his men were securing the basement. Hana was nowhere to be seen. Escaped again. She got away, Minho reported grimly. Through tunnels. We'll find her, but later. Right now, get Kiera home. Safe. Protected. Jiwon pulled her closer. I'm so sorry. About the video. About not protecting you better. About... Stop. This wasn't your fault. I'm the one who ran instead of trusting you. Tears streamed down her face. I'm so sorry. I should have believed you. You had every reason to doubt. We've known each other weeks. I'm a criminal with a history of manipulation. The video looked real. Your reaction was logical. It was fear, insecurity, all my issues with Marcus, thinking I'm not enough, believing no one could actually want me. She sobbed. I almost got myself killed because I couldn't believe you loved me. Then let me be very clear. He cupped her face, his intensity overwhelming. I love you, Kiera Thompson. Not for what you can do for me. Not for your healing touch. Not for functionality or convenience. I love you. Your strength, your compassion, your stubbornness, your beautiful heart that wants to save everyone. I love you completely, and I will spend the rest of my life proving that if you let me. Even though I'm broken too, even though I have trust issues and insecurities. Especially because of that, because you're real, flawed, human, not some perfect fantasy. He kissed her forehead. We're both broken, Kiera. Maybe we can heal each other. I'd like that. She leaned into him. I love you too. Even though you're a crime boss who puts tracking devices in my jewelry. For the record, that tracking device saved your life. Still creepy. Still effective. His smile faded. Hana's not going to stop. She's obsessed with keeping me broken. As long as you're alive, you're a threat to her. So what do? We end her, permanently, together. His eyes met hers. But I need to know you're in, really in. Because what comes next is going to be violent, dangerous, and possibly get us both killed. I need to know you're choosing this life, choosing me, with full knowledge of what it means. Kiera looked at him, this brutal, beautiful, damaged man who'd shown her his deepest vulnerabilities, and made her choice. I'm in, whatever it takes. Together. Together, he agreed, and sealed it with a kiss that promised forever, even if forever was shorter than either hoped. The war with Hana escalated quickly. Over the next week, attacks came from all sides. Jiwon's businesses were targeted, clubs burned, shipments hijacked, informants murdered. Hana was going scorched earth, determined to destroy him completely. But the worst attack came on day 8. Kiera was at the compound, working with Jiwon on strategies, when Minho burst in with devastating news. Sir, they hit the clinic, where Kiera used to work, burned it to the ground. 3 staff members injured, 1 critical. Kiera felt her legs give out. Minji? Is Minji okay? She's the one in critical condition. 2nd and 3rd degree burns, smoke inhalation. They've taken her to Seoul National Hospital. This is my fault, Kiera whispered. They targeted the clinic because of me. This is Hana's fault, Jiwon corrected, his fury barely controlled. She's targeting everyone connected to you. Your friend is collateral damage in her war against me. I need to see her. Absolutely not. The hospital could be a trap. Hana could be waiting. I don't care. Kiera's voice rose. Minji is hurt because of me. I'm not hiding while she fights for her life. Then I'm coming with you. Heavy security, no arguments. They went to the hospital with a full security detail. Minji was in the ICU, her face and arms wrapped in bandages, machines breathing for her. Kiera broke down, holding her friend's undamaged hand. I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. You shouldn't be here. She can't hear you, the nurse said gently. She's heavily sedated. The burns were severe. We're doing everything we can, but the next 48 hours are critical. After the nurse left, Kiera turned to Jiwon with tears streaming. I can't do this. Can't be responsible for innocent people getting hurt. Minji, Marcus, your men. Everyone around me is in danger. Everyone around me has always been in danger. That's the world I live in. But Kiera, walking away, won't protect them. Hana will keep targeting anyone connected to us until we stop her permanently. Then stop her. Why haven't you already? You're supposed to be this powerful crime boss. Because she's smart, hidden, protected by her own organization. And she knows if I make one wrong move, she releases the full assault video, uncensored, unmistakable evidence of what she did to me. My reputation will be destroyed, my enemies will smell blood, and everything I've built will collapse. So we're trapped. She can hurt everyone we care about, and we can't stop her because she's holding blackmail over you. Unless we remove the blackmail. Jiwon's expression turned calculating. The video exists on servers in 3 locations. If we destroy all 3 simultaneously, she loses her leverage. How? Cyber attack combined with physical assault. My hackers take down the digital copies while my men destroy the physical servers. It's possible, but it requires precise timing and leaves us completely exposed during the execution. Exposed to what? To her counterattack. The moment she realizes what we're doing, she'll throw everything at us, every resource, every soldier, every weapon. It'll be all-out war, better than this slow torture where innocent people keep getting hurt. Kiera's jaw set. Do it. Plan the attack. End this. It could get us both killed. I'd rather die fighting than live in this fear. She moved to him, taking his hands. You asked if I was in. I'm in. Let's end Hana permanently. The plan took 3 days to coordinate. Jiwon's best hackers would penetrate Hana's network. Simultaneously, 3 tactical teams would hit the physical server locations. The operation would take 12 minutes. 12 minutes of total vulnerability while everyone was focused on destroying the blackmail. Hana will know the moment we start, Jiwon explained during the final briefing. She'll come for us here at the compound. This location specifically, because she knows Kiera will be here. So I'm bait, Kiera said. You're protected, bait. I'm putting my best men around you. But yes, you're the target Hana wants. She'll bring her full force to get to you. And you'll be with the tactical teams? No, I'm staying with you, where I should have been all along. His eyes met hers. I'm not losing you because I was somewhere else trying to be strategic. If Hana comes, we face her together. The operation began at midnight. The hackers started their infiltration. Tactical teams moved on the server locations. And at the compound, Jiwon and Kiera waited with 30 armed guards, knowing Hana's attack was imminent. It came faster than expected. Explosions rocked the compound walls. Gunfire erupted from all sides. Hana had brought an army, easily 100 fighters, all focused on breaching the compound and getting to Kiera. Hold the perimeter, Jiwon commanded as his men returned fire. To Kiera, stay behind me. No matter what happens, stay behind me. The battle was chaos. Automatic weapons, explosions, smoke, and blood, and screaming. Jiwon's men fought viciously, but Hana's forces kept coming, wave after wave. Status on the servers? Jiwon demanded into his comms. 2 down, 1 in progress. Need 3 more minutes. We don't have 3 minutes. The compound walls were breaching. Hana's forces were getting through. Then Hana herself appeared, striding through the smoke like an avenging demon, gun in hand, her eyes locked on Kiera. There you are, she said. The healer, the cure, the bitch who fixed what I broke. She raised her gun. Any last words before I remove you permanently? Yes. Kiera stepped forward, ignoring Jiwon's attempt to stop her. You broke him because you're weak. Because real power doesn't come from violating someone. It comes from consensual strength. You assaulted Jiwon, traumatized him, and thought that made you powerful. But all it did was prove you're pathetic. Hana's face contorted with rage. Pathetic? I destroyed Seoul's most ruthless crime boss. No, you wounded him. I healed him. There's a difference. And now he's stronger than ever, with someone who actually cares about him, while you're alone, angry, and about to lose everything. The only thing I'm losing is you. Hana's finger tightened on the trigger. Third server down, Minho's voice shouted through comms. All blackmail destroyed. We're clear. Hana's eyes widened in horror. What? Your leverage is gone? Jiwon said, stepping beside Kiera. The assault video, destroyed. Every copy, every server, gone. You have nothing over me anymore. I still have this. Hana aimed at Kiera. The gunshot was deafening. Kiera felt impact, felt herself falling. But she wasn't hit. Jiwon had thrown himself in front of her, taking the bullet meant for her heart. He collapsed in her arms, blood spreading across his chest. No, Kiera screamed. Jiwon, no. Everything after that was chaos. Minho shot Hana, not fatal, but disabling. Jiwon's men swarmed, securing the compound, capturing Hana and her remaining forces. But Kiera's entire world had narrowed to the man bleeding out in her arms. Stay with me, she begged, her hands pressing against the wound, trying desperately to stop the bleeding. Please, Jiwon, stay with me. You can't die. Not now. Not after everything. Kiera, he whispered, his voice weak. I love you. Whatever happens, I love you. Don't you dare say goodbye. You're not dying. I won't let you die. Tears streamed down her face as she pressed harder on the wound. Her warm hands trying desperately to heal him through sheer force of will. Ambulance is 2 minutes out, someone shouted. He doesn't have 2 minutes. Kiera's hands glowed with heat, warmer than normal, almost burning, as she pressed them against Jiwon's chest, willing his body to heal, to hold on, to survive. And impossibly, miraculously, his eyes focused. You're burning. I know. I don't know how, but just hold on. Let my touch work. Please, fight for me. Fight for us. His hand covered hers, blood mixing between them. Always fighting. For you. The ambulance arrived. Paramedics took over, loading Jiwon onto a stretcher, shouting medical terms Kiera couldn't process. As they wheeled him away, Minho grabbed her arm. Kiera, your hands. They're smoking. What did you do? She looked down. Her hands were red, blistered, like she'd been holding fire. But she felt no pain, just desperate hope that whatever she'd done had been enough. I don't know. I couldn't let him die. At the hospital, surgeons worked for 6 hours. Kiera waited, her burned hands bandaged, her whole body numb with terror. Finally, the surgeon emerged. He's alive. The bullet missed his heart by millimeters. We've repaired the damage. He should recover fully. Should? He's strong. And honestly, I can't explain this, but the wound showed signs of accelerated healing. Like something had jump-started his body's repair process during those critical first minutes. Without that, he likely wouldn't have survived the transport. Kiera looked at her bandaged hands and understood. Her healing touch, pushed to its absolute limit by desperation and love, had kept him alive long enough for help to arrive. She'd saved him the way he'd saved her. They'd healed each other. Exactly as he'd promised. Jiwon woke 3 days later to find Kiera asleep in a chair beside his hospital bed, her bandaged hands resting on his blanket. Kiera, he whispered, his voice rough from intubation. She jolted awake immediately, her eyes filling with tears the moment she saw him conscious. You're awake. Oh God, you're awake. How long? 3 days. You've been in and out, but this is the first time you're really lucid. She carefully took his hand, mindful of her own injuries. You took a bullet for me. You almost died. Worth it. You're alive. His eyes moved to her bandaged hands. What happened to you? Apparently, extreme emotional duress pushed my healing ability into overdrive. I burned my hands, trying to keep you alive." She smiled through tears. "The doctors said you shouldn't have survived the transport, but something accelerated your healing in those first critical minutes. That was me, my touch. You saved my life. You saved mine first. I'd say we're even, but you've saved me multiple times, so I'm probably still behind. We're not keeping score." He struggled to sit up, wincing. "Hana? Captured. In custody. Your men are holding her in a secure location until you decide what to do with her. The assault video is completely destroyed. All copies, all servers. She has no leverage left. And her organization? Scattered. Most of her lieutenants surrendered or fled once she was captured. Minho has been consolidating control, absorbing what we can, eliminating threats. It's essentially over. Then we won." He pulled her closer despite the pain. "It's actually over." "Not quite. There's still the question of what to do with Hana. Minho says you're the one who gets to decide her fate." Kiera's expression was complicated. "What are you going to do? What do you want me to do?" "I want you to not become the monster she tried to turn you into. I want you to choose justice over revenge. She assaulted me, traumatized me, tried to kill you multiple times. Justice would be executing her. Justice would be letting the legal system handle it, turning over evidence of her crimes, the trafficking, the murders, the assaults. Let her rot in prison instead of making her a martyr. The legal system doesn't work for people like us. Then make it work. You have evidence, witnesses, resources. You could build a case that puts her away forever, legally, without blood on your hands." Kiera's eyes pleaded with him. "Jiwon, you've spent 3 years living with what she did to you. Don't let her turn you into a killer too. Don't let her final act be corrupting who you are." He was quiet for a long moment, warring emotions visible on his face. Finally, "You're asking me to be better than I want to be. I'm asking you to be the man I know you are, the one who wanted to be a doctor, the one who's capable of healing, not just hurting. If I do this, turn her over to authorities, build a legal case, she'll talk. She'll expose parts of my organization, implicate people, then let her take the hit, rebuild something cleaner. You've been saying you wanted to be more than just a crime boss. Here's your chance. You're asking me to dismantle everything I've built. I'm asking you to build something better, with me, a life that's not based on violence and fear." She squeezed his hand gently. "We survived Hana. We survived everything she threw at us. Now we get to choose what comes next, who we want to be, together." Jiwon looked at her, this woman who'd healed his body and his soul, who challenged him to be better, who made him want things he'd thought were impossible, and made his choice. "Okay, we do it your way. Legal case, proper authorities, let the system handle it." His jaw clenched. "But if she gets out, if she comes after you again, then we deal with it, together. Like everything else." Kiera leaned forward, kissing him softly. "Thank you for choosing healing over revenge. You make it sound noble. Really, I'm just choosing you, and you come with annoying requirements like morality and ethics. Horrible, I know. You'll learn to live with it. I better, because I'm planning to live with you, for a very long time." 2 weeks later, Jiwon was released from the hospital. True to his word, He'd turned over everything on Hana to federal prosecutors. Her arrest was national news. Seoul's notorious Red Lotus syndicate leader, charged with trafficking, assault, attempted murder, and a dozen other crimes. The evidence was overwhelming. She'd be in prison for life. But the investigation didn't stop with her. Jiwon's organization came under scrutiny too. Rather than fight it, he cooperated, selectively, gave up rivals and corrupt officials while protecting his own people, started transitioning legitimate businesses, closing down illegal operations, slowly building something cleaner. It'll take years, he told Kiera as they reviewed his restructuring plans. Maybe decades. Some parts of my world can't be cleaned up. They just have to be walked away from. But I'm trying. That's all I ask. Trying. She was sitting beside him in his home office, her hands mostly healed now, the scars a permanent reminder of the night she'd saved him. What about the syndicate leadership? I'm stepping back, promoting Minho to handle day-to-day operations. I'll be more strategic advisor than active boss. Gives me time for other things. What other things? You, us. Building a life that's not just crisis management and survival. He pulled out a folder. I've been looking at properties, outside Seoul, quieter, places where we could actually breathe. Are you asking me to move in with you? I'm asking you to build a life with me, a real one, not therapist and client, not crime boss and healer, just Jiwon and Kiera, figuring out what normal looks like. We're never going to be normal. Then extraordinary. I can live with extraordinary. He opened the folder, showing her photos of a beautiful modern house with a garden. What do you think? I think you're assuming I'm staying in Seoul. I have a life in Chicago. Had a life. Past tense. Your apartment lease is up, your clinic burned down, and your ex is in rehab. What's actually pulling you back? His eyes held hers. Stay. Build something here. With me. Please. She should have hesitated, should have considered the practical complications, should have been sensible. Instead, she smiled. Okay, but I have conditions. Of course you do. I want my own clinic, for trauma recovery, specializing in assault survivors, legitimate practice, proper licensing, everything above board. Done. I'll fund it completely. Best equipment, whatever you need. And I want us in couples therapy, real therapy, to process everything that's happened and make sure we're building something healthy. Agreed. Anything else? I want you to see a therapist too, individually, to work through the assault trauma properly, not just the physical symptoms. That one's harder, but he took her hand. I'll try. For you. For us. That's all I ask. She leaned in, kissing him. Now, show me more pictures of this house. If I'm staying, I want input on where we live. They spent the next hour planning, not just a house, but a future, what her clinic would look like, how to blend their lives, where they saw themselves in 5 years, 10 years, beyond. Kids? Jiwon asked carefully. Is that something you want? Eventually. Maybe. Is it something you want? With you? Yes. Not now. We have too much healing to do first. But someday having a family with you? That sounds perfect. Even though I'm a stubborn American who makes you go to therapy and act morally? Especially because of that. You make me better. Make me want to be the man I gave up on being. His hand cupped her face. I love you, Kiera. Completely. Forever. However long you'll have me. Forever sounds good to me. 6 months later. everything had changed. Kiera's trauma recovery clinic opened in Gangnam. State-of-the-art facilities, sliding scale fees so anyone could access care, staffed with the best therapists in Seoul. Her specialty was somatic therapy for assault survivors, using her unique healing touch combined with psychological treatment. Word spread quickly. Within weeks, she had a waiting list. Jiwon had transitioned almost completely out of criminal operations. He still maintained connections. Some ties couldn't be severed safely, but his focus had shifted to legitimate businesses, real estate development, technology investments, the kinds of ventures that built wealth without violence. They'd moved into the house outside Seoul, modern, peaceful, with enough space for both of them to breathe. Jiwon worked from home most days. Kiera commuted to the clinic. They had dinner together every night, went to couples therapy twice a month, and slowly built the normal life neither had thought possible. "How are the nightmares?" Kiera asked one morning as they had coffee on their patio. "Less frequent, once or twice a week now instead of nightly. My therapist says that's significant progress." He smiled slightly. "Still hate admitting I need therapy, but she's helpful. Character growth. I'm so proud." "Shut up." He pulled her into his lap, kissing her. "How's your day looking?" 3 new client intakes, 2 group sessions, and a training workshop for my staff. Busy, but good busy. She settled against him. "I love this life we've built, even the hard parts." "Hard parts like me waking you up with nightmares? Hard parts like both of us working through trauma while trying to build a relationship. It's not easy, but it's real, and I wouldn't trade it for anything." "Not even a normal boyfriend with a normal job? Especially not that. Normal is overrated. You're extraordinary. Damaged, complicated, frustratingly stubborn, but extraordinary." "Right back at you." He kissed her temple. "I have something for you. Anniversary present." "Our anniversary isn't for 2 months. Anniversary of the day you first touched me, and my body responded." That day changed everything. He pulled out a small box. "I wanted to mark it." Inside was a delicate necklace, a pendant shaped like healing hands, made of gold and emeralds. "It's beautiful," Kiera whispered. "The emeralds are the color of your eyes when you're concentrating on healing. The hands represent what you gave me, not just physical healing, but emotional, psychological. You gave me back my humanity." He clasped it around her neck. "I wanted you to have something that represents what you mean to me. My healer, my love, my home." She turned to kiss him properly, tasting coffee and promise on his lips. "I love you, even though you're sentimental and buy me jewelry for random anniversaries. I love you too, even though you're stubborn and make me talk about my feelings." They sat together, watching the sunrise. 2 broken people who'd healed each other, building something beautiful from trauma and violence, and one impossible touch that changed everything. It wasn't perfect. They still had nightmares, still struggled with trust, still had work to do, but they had each other, and that was enough. 1 year after Hana's imprisonment, the past came back with a vengeance. Kiera was at her clinic, working with a new client, when Minho appeared at her office door with urgent news. Hana escaped during a prison transfer. 2 guards dead, 3 injured. She's in the wind. Kiera's blood froze. "When?" "4 hours ago. We just got confirmation. Jiwon's already mobilizing security, but..." Minho's expression was grim. She left a message, said she's coming to finish what she started. You're the target. Kiera immediately called Jiwon. I heard. What do we do? You come home, now. We lock down until she's found. His voice was tense but controlled. Minho's bringing you. Full security detail. Don't argue. I'm not arguing. I'm coming. She grabbed her bag, addressing her receptionist. Cancel the rest of my appointments. Family emergency. The drive home was tense. Kiera watched every car, every shadow, expecting Hana to appear. But they made it to the house without incident. Jiwon met her at the door, pulling her into a tight embrace. Thank God, you're safe. For now, Jiwon, how did she escape? She was in maximum security, money, corruption. She still has resources and people loyal to her. He guided her inside, where armed guards were positioned at every entrance. We're fortified. She can't get to you here. You said the same thing at the compound a year ago. She got through then. I'm not making the same mistakes twice. This time, I'm prepared. He showed her the security setup: motion sensors, cameras, armed personnel, panic rooms. She comes near this property, we'll know immediately. And then what? We live in fear forever? Looking over our shoulders? No. Then I end her. Permanently. No more legal system, no more chances. She's proven she can't be contained through normal means. Jiwon, don't ask me to be merciful to someone who's trying to kill you. I gave her the legal route. She escaped. Now she's a rabid dog that needs to be put down. Kiera wanted to argue, wanted to push back against his violence, but she was terrified. Hana had escaped specifically to kill her. This wasn't philosophical anymore. This was survival. Okay, she whispered. Do what you have to do. Just keep us safe. The attack came at 2 a.m. Alarms blared. Gunfire erupted. Kiera woke to Jiwon pulling her out of bed, shoving a bulletproof vest on her. Safe room, now. His voice was commanding. All business. Don't come out until I personally come for you. Where are you going? To end this. He kissed her hard. I love you. Stay safe. Then he was gone. And Minho was pushing her into the reinforced panic room. Steel walls, independent air supply, enough provisions to last days. Lock it from the inside, Minho instructed. Don't open for anyone but Jiwon or me. Hana's breached the perimeter. We're engaging. The door sealed. Kiera was alone with security monitors showing the battle outside. Hana had brought an army again, smaller than before, but well-armed and vicious. Jiwon's men were holding them back, but it was brutal. She watched people die on those screens, both sides falling in the firefight. Then she saw her. Hana, fighting her way through the chaos, heading directly toward the house, toward the safe room, like she knew exactly where Kiera was hidden. She has building plans, Kiera realized with horror. She knows where I am. As if confirming it, Hana appeared on the safe room camera, outside the door, planting something. Explosives. Kiera had maybe 2 minutes before that door was breached. She grabbed the emergency radio. Jiwon, she's at the safe room. She's going to blow the door. Static then. I'm coming. Hold on. You won't make it in time. She's already set charges. Kiera's mind raced. I need to open the door, confront her before she detonates and brings down the whole room on me. Don't you dare. It's the only way. If the charges blow while I'm inside, I'm dead anyway. At least this way, I have a chance. Kiera, no! But she was already unlocking the door, pulling it open before the charges could detonate. Hana stood there, finger on the detonator trigger, surprise flickering across her face. Well, the healer comes out to play. Hana's smile was vicious. Brave. Stupid, but brave. What do you want, Hana? Really? You've lost everything. Your organization, your power, your freedom. Killing me won't get any of that back. It'll get me satisfaction. You took him from me. He was never yours. You assaulted him. That's not love. That's violence. It was power. And you undid it. Fixed him, made him whole. Let him move on like what I did didn't matter. Hana's control was cracking. I marked him. Broke him. He was supposed to stay broken as punishment for rejecting me years ago. Rejecting you? Before I ran Red Lotus, I wanted him. Loved him, even. But Baek Jiwon didn't date criminals, didn't see me as anything but an obstacle to eliminate. So I showed him what it felt like to be powerless, to be violated, to be destroyed by someone stronger. That's not love. That's psychotic revenge. And your self-righteous healing. Think you're so noble, fixing broken men with your magic touch. Hana raised her gun. Time to see if you can heal a bullet through your skull. Drop the gun, Hana. Jiwon's voice. He'd appeared behind Hana, his own weapon aimed at her head. Ah, the hero arrives. How predictable. Hana didn't lower her gun. But here's the problem. I shoot her, you shoot me. We both lose. Is that really what you want? What I want is you dead and Kiera alive. If that requires dying myself, so be it. You'd die for her? Hana's laugh was bitter. The mighty Baek Jiwon, willing to sacrifice himself for some American therapist? How the powerful have fallen. No, how the powerful have learned what actually matters. Jiwon's aim never wavered. I spent years thinking power meant control, fear, dominance. You broke me, and I thought it proved I was weak. But Kiera taught me something. Real power is choosing love over revenge, healing over hurting, being vulnerable instead of always defended. Poetic. Still doesn't change that I'm holding a gun to her head. And I'm holding one to yours. Mexican standoff, except Jiwon's expression turned cold. I'm a better shot than you, and you're not fast enough. Wanna bet? Everything happened in a blur. Hana swung her gun toward Kiera. Jiwon fired. Hana's shot went wide as the bullet hit her shoulder, her weapon clattering to the ground. Minho and his team rushed in, securing Hana as she screamed in pain and rage. It's over, Jiwon said, moving to Kiera and pulling her into his arms. Actually over this time. She's going to a black site prison. No transfers, no escapes, no second chances. She'll rot there until she dies. You're not killing her? Kiera asked, surprised. You asked me not to become a monster, so I'm choosing the version of justice that keeps my humanity intact. She lives, in a cell she'll never leave. That's mercy enough. Kiera pressed her face into his chest, trembling with relief and adrenaline. I thought she was going to kill me. Thought I'd never see you again. I will always find you, always protect you, always choose you. He kissed the top of her head. But can you please stop opening locked doors when psychotic crime bosses are on the other side? No promises. My self-preservation instincts are clearly broken. Good thing mine work for both of us. 3 months later, with Hana permanently secured and her remaining followers eliminated or absorbed, peace finally settled. Kiera and Jiwon stood in the nursery of their house, freshly painted, filled with baby furniture, ready for the life they were building. You're sure about this? Jiwon asked, his hand on Kiera's very pregnant belly. Baby, marriage, the whole domestic package? With you, absolutely. She covered his hand with hers. We've survived assault, trauma, wars, escapes. A baby should be comparatively easy. Liar. Babies are terrifying. So are mafia bosses who get shot protecting their therapists. We'll figure it out. She leaned into him. How are you feeling? About everything? The therapy? The business changes? Becoming a father? Terrified, excited, grateful. His hand moved in gentle circles on her stomach. A year ago, I couldn't even function. Now I'm married, expecting a baby, running legitimate businesses. You literally transformed my entire life. We transformed each other. You gave me purpose, protection, a home when I was running from my past. I gave you healing, hope, a reason to be better. We're even, never even. I'll spend my life trying to be worthy of what you gave me. You already are, just by choosing every day to be the man you want to be, instead of the man you were raised to be. She turned in his arms, kissing him softly. I'm proud of you, for the therapy work, for going legitimate, for choosing healing over violence. Don't give me too much credit. I still run security operations that are morally gray at best. Baby steps. You're a work in progress. We both are. She smiled. Our daughter is going to have the most interesting origin story. How did you and Daddy meet? Well, sweetie, I was his physical therapist treating his psychological impotence from sexual assault trauma. Then his ex-abuser tried to kill me multiple times, and we fell in love during the chaos. We're telling her I hired you as a business consultant, and we fell in love professionally. Boring, but probably healthier. Fine. She winced slightly. Okay, baby, just kicked my bladder. Again. Your daughter has terrible aim. She's practicing. Future martial artist. He helped her to the bathroom. Want me to make dinner while you rest? You cooking? Are we celebrating something? Can't I just cook for my pregnant wife without ulterior motive? You burned water last time you tried cooking unsupervised. That was once, and the pot was salvageable. His smile turned mischievous. Fine, I'm celebrating. The final paperwork came through today. All my criminal enterprises are officially dissolved or transferred. I'm completely legitimate. Clean business license, tax compliance, the whole boring package. Kiera's eyes filled with tears. Really? You did it? I did it. For you. For our daughter. For the life we're building. He pulled her close. No more looking over our shoulders. No more violence. No more fear. Just us, our baby, and whatever comes next. I love you so much. I love you too. My healer, my wife, my home. They stood together in the nursery that would soon hold their daughter. Two people who'd found each other in darkness and built something bright. From one touch that sparked impossible healing to a lifetime of choosing love over violence, fear, and trauma. They'd survived the worst. Now they got to live the best. Together. Always together. 2 years later. Kiera walked into her clinic, carrying 18-month-old Nari on her hip. Her daughter was beautiful. Jiwon's sharp features softened by Kiera's warmth, dark curly hair, and a personality that was equal parts stubborn and sweet. Mama work? Nari asked, patting Kiera's face. Just for a few hours, baby. Then we go home to Daddy. Her clinic had expanded, now 3 locations across Seoul, staffed with therapists she'd personally trained in somatic healing techniques. They specialized in assault survivors, particularly men whose trauma often went unacknowledged and untreated. Jiwon had funded it all, no strings attached. His way of paying forward the healing he'd received. Today was special. Kiera was giving a keynote at a conference on trauma recovery, sharing her techniques while carefully omitting the more unusual aspects of her healing touch. As she set up her presentation, her phone buzzed. Jiwon, texting a photo of him in the kitchen, covered in flour. Attempted cookies for your return may have created sentient dough monster. Send help. She laughed, texting back, leave it. We'll order takeout. Love you. Love you more. Knock them dead at the conference. The presentation went beautifully. Afterward, several therapists approached her with questions, wanting to learn her methods. The key, Kiera explained, is understanding that trauma lives in the body, not just the mind. Traditional talk therapy is important, but somatic work, addressing where the body holds trauma, that's transformative. Especially for assault survivors whose bodies have stored the violation as protective tension. And the warmth technique you mentioned? One therapist asked. Using heat therapy combined with touch? It's about creating safety, warm touch signals to the nervous system that you're not in danger. It helps release the holding patterns trauma creates. She didn't mention that her touch was uniquely effective for biological reasons. That wasn't replicable, so sharing it would be pointless. After the conference, she picked up Nari from the clinic daycare and headed home. Their house had evolved, baby-proofed, filled with toys, looking lived in and loved. Jiwon met her at the door, Nari squealing and launching herself into his arms. Dada, Mama home. I see that. Did Mama knock them dead at her conference? Mama did adequately. How's the cookie situation? Resolved. I ordered from the bakery. Much safer for everyone involved. He kissed her over Nari's head. How are you feeling? You look tired. Long day. Good, but exhausting. How was your day? Board meeting, investment review, lunch with Minho to discuss the new property acquisition. Boring, but productive. He'd transitioned completely into legitimate business. Real estate development, tech investments, venture capital. The criminal world was firmly in his past, though he still maintained connections. Some bridges couldn't be burned without consequences, but his hands were clean now. That mattered. After putting Nari to bed, they collapsed on their couch together. I got a call today, Jiwon said, from a prosecutor in the U.S. They're building a case against a trafficking ring and wanted to know if I'd testify about similar operations I dismantled here. Would you? Normally, no. Testifying means exposure, risk, bringing up the past. But this case, they're rescuing kids, Kiera. Dozens of children being trafficked. If my testimony helps put these people away. He was quiet. What do you think? I think you should do what feels right. But Jiwon, testifying about trafficking means discussing your own experience with Hana. Are you ready for that to be public? My assault isn't a secret anymore. Not after everything that came out during her trial. And if sharing my story helps other survivors come forward, helps put away more predators, maybe it's worth it. Then I support you, whatever you decide. She snuggled closer. Look at you. Testifying in trafficking cases, so far from the man I met 2 years ago. The man you met 2 years ago was broken and hiding it behind violence. You fixed more than just my physical issues. You fixed my soul. We fixed each other. She tilted her face up to kiss him. And we're still fixing, still growing, still choosing to be better. Always. His hand moved to her stomach. Speaking of growth, have you thought more about what we discussed? She had. They'd talked about having another baby, giving Nari a sibling. Kiera had been hesitant. Her clinic was growing, Nari was still so young. But lately, she'd been warming to the idea. I think I want to wait 1 more year. Let Nari get a bit older, let my clinic stabilize with the expansion. Then, yes, another baby sounds perfect. Okay, 1 more year. Then we try for number 2. He kissed her temple. Thank you for everything. For healing me, loving me, building this life with me. I know I say it constantly, but I don't think you understand how impossible this seemed 2 years ago. I understand, because it seemed equally impossible to me. Falling for a mafia boss with psychological impotence while his ex-abuser tried to kill me. Not exactly a fairy tale beginning, but a fairy tale ending. Beautiful wife, perfect daughter, legitimate business, actual happiness. That's more than I ever dreamed possible. Me too. She intertwined their fingers. Though I do miss the dramatic, life-threatening crises sometimes. Normal is nice, but occasionally boring. Do not wish for drama. The universe might hear you. Fine. I'll settle for boring domestic bliss with occasional business intrigue. That I can provide. 5 years later, Kiera stood in the delivery room, sweating and exhausted, holding their newborn son. He's perfect, she breathed, studying the tiny face. Absolutely perfect. Just like his mother. Jiwon was beside her, tears streaming down his face as he looked at their son. And his sister. We make good kids. We make stubborn kids. This one was 2 weeks late and fought every contraction. Takes after his mother. Takes after his father. She smiled tiredly. Want to hold your son? Jiwon took the baby carefully, his expression transforming into pure wonder. Hey, little man. I'm your dad. Your sister Nari is very excited to meet you. She's picked out exactly which toys you're allowed to play with and which are off limits. You're going to love her even though she's bossy. She gets that from you. Lies, she gets that from you. He looked at Kiera. We did it again. Created another perfect human. We did, and in a few years, they'll team up against us and will regret giving Nari a partner in crime. Worth it. Nari burst into the room moments later, Minho trying unsuccessfully to hold her back. Baby, I see baby. She climbed onto the bed, studying her brother with intense 5-year-old scrutiny. He's tiny. Why he's so tiny? You were that tiny once, Jiwon explained. No, I big always. She patted her brother's head gently. Hi, baby. I'm Nari. I'm big sister. I teach you everything. That's what I'm afraid of, Kiera muttered, making Jiwon laugh. 10 years after that day in the compound, when everything changed. Kiera's clinic system had expanded internationally. 5 locations in Asia, 3 in the US, all specializing in trauma recovery, with her unique somatic approach. She'd published research, trained hundreds of therapists, and helped thousands of survivors heal. Jiwon ran a venture capital firm focused on ethical investments, technology, renewable energy, education. He'd become known in business circles as the man who'd transformed from Seoul's underground king to legitimate philanthropist. His past was public knowledge, but his present was unimpeachable. They'd testified in multiple trafficking cases over the years. Jiwon's willingness to share his assault story publicly had encouraged other male survivors to come forward. Together, they'd helped put away dozens of predators. Their children, Nari, now 15, and their son, Kenzo, 10, were growing up healthy, loved, blissfully unaware of how dark their parents' past had been. They knew the sanitized version. Mama had been Daddy's therapist. They'd fallen in love. Some bad people had tried to hurt them, but everything worked out. The real story, the assault, the impotence, the violence, Hana's attempts to kill them, that would wait until the kids were older, much older. One evening, after the kids were in bed, Kiera and Jiwon sat on their back patio, watching the sunset. "Do you ever regret it?" Kiera asked. "Giving up the power, the control, the criminal empire?" "Never. Not once. That life was empty. This," he gestured to their home, their life. "This is full, rich, real. I'd give up empires 100 times over for what we have. Even though you'll never be as powerful as you once were. I'm more powerful now. I have love, family, purpose beyond survival. That's real power. The other stuff was just violence, dressed up as strength. When did you become so wise?" "When I met a stubborn American therapist who refused to let me stay broken, who saw past the crime boss to the man underneath, who healed me with her touch and her heart." He pulled her close. "You gave me everything, Kiera. A life worth living. A reason to be better. Children who'll never know the darkness I came from. That's better than any empire. You gave me just as much. A home when I was running. Protection when I was vulnerable. A love I didn't think existed." She kissed him softly. "We saved each other. We healed each other. That's what you do best, healing the broken. You weren't broken, just wounded. There's a difference. Then you healed my wounds and loved the scars. Same result. I'm whole because of you." They sat in comfortable silence, two people who'd survived the impossible and built something beautiful from trauma, violence, and one accidental touch that changed everything. "Hey, Jiwon." "Yeah?" "My hands are still warmer than normal. The healing touch never went away." "I know. I feel it every time you touch me. Still the most incredible feeling in the world." "Want to feel it some more?" Her smile turned mischievous. "Always. Every day for the rest of our lives. Your touch healed me once. Now it just reminds me I'm alive. Loved. Home. Then let's go inside. I have a lot of touching to do." "Best idea you've had all day." They went inside, closing the door on the sunset, on the past, on everything they'd survived. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Their children would grow up. The clinic would expand. Business would evolve. Life would continue its beautiful, complicated march forward. But tonight was just them. Jiwon and Kiera, broken people who'd healed each other. Crime boss and therapist who'd become husband and wife. Father and mother, partners in building light from darkness. From one bold touch that sparked impossible healing to a lifetime of choosing love over fear, they'd proven that healing was possible, that change was real, that sometimes the most broken people could build the most beautiful lives. Together, always together, exactly as they'd promised that first night when Kiera put her hands on Jiwon and felt his body respond, not knowing she'd just touched the man who'd become her forever. The man whose manhood couldn't rise until a bold black woman dared to touch him. And in touching him, healed them both. The end. Thank you for watching this story to the end. If you enjoyed Kiera and Jiwon's journey from trauma to healing to love, make sure you're subscribed. More emotional love stories are coming. Stories of healing, redemption, and love that transforms. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. See you in the next story. Could you be vulnerable enough to heal someone's deepest wounds? Would you risk your safety for someone who needed healing? Have you ever experienced a connection so powerful it changed everything? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.